And welcome to our new episode of Blockrevision. I'm very glad to host you today. We are live, so if you have any questions regarding topics bridged today, you may push it right in a comment section, right aside of my figure. So what about today? So I don't want you to fall for that scheme when after paying down all that credit card debt, you are getting interest in investments, and right after trying to put your money somewhere, and at first maybe it lays you lay on the low cost ETFs, and when noticing that the volatility is low, right after going all in on Bitcoin. So I don't know that the TikTok pundits that Fin Twitter is astounded with that recent rally that it noted from the bottom at around 30%, but I don't know that many of the beginning market participants are falling for this recency bias scheme when they are observing the trend that is very easily noticeable, and many of the market participants are assessing that it when it lasts, why not it may last longer. But for this one, you need to be very cautious. So I don't know that attention spans are getting shorter when looking through the TikTok or another I would say short broadcastly sourced video broadcasting platform. It's maybe much easier, but if you just interview any of the market successful, whether it's traders or investors, it normally doesn't work like this, and you need to stop looking at snippets but at quality of content. So I hope you will find it out right at this episode. Without any further ado, sorry for that long extended period, that is in extended intro, but we are heading forward. All right, so exceptionally, we are starting up with a market outlook today, as there weren't many news out of the economy, macroeconomy. So I wanted to just focus on whether it's right now better to buy into strength or sell into strength, or rather buy into weakness, as there are many scenarios that market may go from then on. So we are right now after breaking through this downtrend line on many of major indexes. So we'll just jump to the most important indexes on DXY in order to verify where we might be right now. For this one to pivot, I do expect there need to be, look at this, RSI looks really terrible. So right now there is no specific price action, whether it's on RSI or MACD, that may push it forward, especially on the daily chart. When observing the price action, I would first expect the breakdown to the levels of 101 on a strong volume, when the sell-off might be ignited, sell-off of a weak hands holding dollar. Right now, there is not such interesting about this chart. DXY right now is oscillating within 101.5 and 102.8, and for now unless anything special will take place right here, I wouldn't find this as an opportunity at all, especially with this breaking downtrend. Sorry, with the break of a uptrend back on the 20th of January. So that's DXY still giving us a chance for a risk on profile to continue. What about the SPX? SPX is slowly but surely breaking out of the um, out of this downtrend line, and it means for us that that should uh, take a chance to make the path forward to this 4,000 levels. So we still have around over 2% of growth ahead before it make another stop. So we have built some power for this to break higher. I would expect it may even catch the liquidity of 41 17, and right before 41.2 it may revert right over there. So it's over 2.5% by and large. So that was about SPX. So what about the DJI? DJI is inside of us of the pennant that should give us a room upwards. Right now we are expecting with some probability that this triangle may get us somewhere around 33 thousands if we just try to make an objective that lays out of this formation. It depends on where we might break from this triangle. But if we just assess that it might be somewhere around that place, we'll get somewhere around the market top. So it's still not very far from that. It's 8.05% from where we are right now. But for confirmation of a breakout, we would need to see a close of a daily candle right above this upper band. So it's very interesting to watch. But DJI is right now in an acceleration mode, and that may get another boost after a breakout out of this triangle. It looks very nice right now. So definitely right now. Also, US 100 that recently sold off. Yes, we can find it. US 100 should find this local floor somewhere around 11.6. Right now, giving us a chance to retest this 12.2. So it's around 5% of a growth. But yes, I would expect US 100 to stay here for a while and right after rally forward. So right now, for those that haven't bought US 100 yet, in anticipation for the retest of this trend line, that might be a very nice spot right around this level of 11.6. So that was around about US 100. Right now, let's head into next. That's D40. That's DAX. So right now, it's amazing. The strength is amazing. At the daily chart, it looks very nice as we are building winding up some price pattern to break to the upside, and we are still not very far from the top. It's 8.3%, and with recent price action, it's still achievable within weeks to come. So D40 is exactly the one. Sorry, I have extended the field of my view. So as it's going live, let me know in the chat whether everything works fine. I'll be very glad to hear from you. So this was about DAX. Gold doesn't show any signs of weakness. Right now we are building another highs this year, and this weekly chart looks still appealing to that. When we get all to somewhere around 2000, where the stop to the gold growth may take place. Right now, however, betting against such chart that's in a higher acceleration would be very I would say unreasonable, and I would wait for an obvious sign of a reversal before it. You may consider putting a short position. What about the silver? Silver right now also is in a limbo after such a enormous growth, but it's closer, I would get, to a breakout to the upside than to the reversal. So right now it resembles some of the consolidation on a top before further breakout, but we need a confirmation for this. Right now the price action is not very clear, and I don't really don't really envious to anyone that want to trade that price action, but as I said, unless any of significant market pivotal structure will be built, we may possibly continue this forward. In terms of copper, right now we also in a climbing mode, and it may get us even to 4.40 at best case, and even we may align with 4.55 if this risk on sentiment will maintain. So that was about it. What about the natural gas? So on natural gas we are trying to rebound, but it doesn't work very well. We are in a strong downward mode, and the recent price action will get us even lower with this breaking of broadening rising pattern, broadening rising wedge. We may get even to the levels of 2.87. So that was about natural gas, and WTI is at a very interesting spot right here. So we can find it right now. We are trying to build a base for another growth forward, and on WTI USD, I don't wanna maybe put it too quickly, but it will be my tip for the trading idea. So I will get it back a bit later. And ending up our market outlook, BTC USDT right now building also another chance to break out higher, and those stairs that are built right here, those are very popular pattern on the crypto market when those bulls are not stepping away, bears, and are marked by resistance in its demand, I would say. All right, so that was about market outlook, and we are right now jumping to crypto. So in terms of crypto, I will jump quickly to another chart that's Ethereum, and Ethereum right now is trying to build also another strength um, when breaking through this downward line. Another stop might be at 2000, and it may happen within next week. So it's all about the chart right now. I didn't get any specific news right here, but I wanted to mention that the objective of this pattern for the objective of this formation for this to break out to the upside is at 2600. So lucky you if you caught the wave right down there when I just mentioned about it, and you may ride the wave even to 2600 levels. So it was about Ethereum to USDT. What about the market movers? And we are going through that section with our economic calendar. So for this week, I will just switch to this week. We can find it on Tuesday. We had inflation rate out of the Australia that's higher than it was before. So it given us some concerns about a further interest rate hike cycle that may not end that quickly. We are still in the uprise mode, but as we may find, the Australia's inflation is getting in a lagging mode than what happened to Europe and the US, both. So Australia one has climbed to the strongest, I would say the highest gauge since quarter one of 1990, with higher prices for food, automotive, fuel, and new dwelling construction. So that's why on BOA that might be a pressure to interest rate hike even further. But what about Europe and America? So today is a very important day of Bank of Canada interest rate decision that may take place at 10 a.m. So we have still not we have still some time ahead, but it may come with 0.25 as forecast. Otherwise, it may be shock the market and may push the valuations even downward for US indexes, as the possibly the harbinger for Fed might be more hawkish than expected. And for tomorrow, as mentioned previously, we have GDP growth rate that's expected to get us higher. That's what markets are betting on. And initial jobless claims that should get higher. That's what analysts are tipping on. But previously, we have downlined that traction, so it may this dynamic may even lower to the levels of March of April of previous year. So that also be very indicative for Fed whether where we are right now in a nature of this economic slowdown. All right, so right here we also have earnings calendar, and we are waiting for Tesla, obviously. But yesterday there was Microsoft. So Microsoft erased early post-earnings gains on a Tuesday after it said revenue growth in its Azure cloud computing business will decelerate, and warned of a further slowdown in corporate software sales. So separately, customer reported difficulties across multiple regions in accessing Microsoft free seeks 5 services, and right now Microsoft governors and heads are expecting the 2023 outlook might be a bit I would say rough in terms of further growth, but it might be, as I just claimed, might be a year of a relative stability when the strong demand might not be that visible, but it may be a calm year in terms of, I would say, taking a relief and breathe out out of the previous very dummy outlook. So everything also for this sector depends on cheap making machines that recently eventually been maybe less less accessible because of the clogged supply chains, but we may not forget that supply chains structure has been recovered a bit at least. So it may get possibly better in the oncoming year. So that was it for today. Obviously, Tesla will be due with publishing its data. AT&T, however, has risen and Boeing has slumped, but the flight industry has problems that are literally going through some time, and it may need some more longer to recover. What about right now? Next element. So yes, about the Microsoft once again. We have post-market pop, so it has met with some thrill on the market, and it means that the majority of stocks by now are showing relative strength in relation to expectations. So it means it might be favoring for further growth of stocks, even if 2023 may be somewhat difficult. It may be not as gloomy as it previously been discounted. So Microsoft is getting to normality after this rapid acceleration caused by COVID demand, but right now, yes, it's getting eventually to where it was back. So it might be even more healthy for further time. All right, and we are jumping to trade idea section. What we have out there. So for this, I need you to switch once again to our trading view. So on WTI USD right now, let's have a look at how does it look from a broader spectrum. Yes, so we have sold off. I told you that we may retest this line that stands for a neckline for this head and shoulders formation. So we are holding strong right now on a daily chart. We haven't broken that structure of a neckline, and that might be a perfect place to tip on a growth for WTI USD. Just look at this on a hourly chart. We have broken down out of this head and shoulders pattern, but as we do know, the objective for this formation to happen is right at this lows that we have tested. Also, look at this RSI channel right here. We have a trend line that has been held. Obviously, what about the RSI? It has reacted very strongly at this level of 79.8. So it means the WTI is about to hold this 80 bucks. And after this 80 been held, we may find it with every single important for the price action spot been tested with this, that, and that, and also market reaction for those levels with such strength that occurred recently. There is nowhere further to uh, claim that WTI USD is prone to move higher. For the first level, I would find WTI to stop at 82.6, so it might get us to that level after bouncing out of the around 81.5. We may head eventually higher with objective that has nothing changed right here, with an objective of even 92.6 to the next stop, and even in a further path forward to 97.3, with reaching possibility of 100 bucks this year, with China reopening and other positive news that we are eventually staving off this recession time. So we are accumulating before another breakout. The ATR also is dropping, so it means that another acceleration move may take place within a time to come. So in this episode, that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. That wasn't maybe a much of a economy news today, but we'll get it through tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. East time. So set your alarms on. We'll be right there. So thank you for today, and see you. See